from Universal Studios Hollywood. Welcome to Home and Family.
Brighten up your day, the Home and Family way.
We are back. Joining me is Michael Green. He is here sharing with us important information on new regulations occurring in California here in order to protect children from toxic chemicals that are found in everyday consumer products. Something that I was really unaware of. Let's get right out and talk about the harmful chemicals. What are they and what products are they found in?
So the ones that I want to talk about today are chemical flame retardants that actually don't retard flames in children's products designed for babies. So for example, this changing pad, this foam, we tested this foam at the Center for Environmental Health, and it has highly toxic chemicals in it. This nap mat, so my 5-year-old daughter Gigi, she sleeps on a nap mat during nap time at preschool, probably right now, just like this one. And in it, it has these chemical flame retardants in this foam too.
Sure.
And if you think about it, what happens is she puts her head down there during nap time, and it squeezes, and out comes a vapor, and that vapor contains chemicals that cause cancer and other kinds of serious health problems like diabetes and obesity. And it's right in her breathing zone. When she puts her head down, it gets squeezed.
So we don't, I'm not seeing anything, I don't smell anything.
No.
It's a completely invisible sort of transparent thing. So this is put in there. You mentioned something that it's for a flame retardant, but it's not flame retardant. Explain that.
Well, what happened was that the history of this is in the 70s, the tobacco industry was getting pressure to create cigarettes that went out quickly because the cigarettes were creating fires in homes. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to have the cigarettes go out quickly because they were worried that sales would go down. It wouldn't be as fun to smoke a cigarette if you have to keep puffing. So what they did is instead they said, the problem's not our cigarettes. The problem is the couches. The problem is all the different things with foam in it. These couches are way too dangerous. We need to do something about these killer couches. That's what the tobacco industry was saying. So what happened then was they were able, because they had a lot of power at that time, their lobby was different than today, and they were able to get an obscure regulation in California that said you can't have couches or other things that have this kind of foam in it unless it has these highly toxic chemicals in it. So the problem was that then these chemicals are in our homes and we're exposed to it. It's in the dust in our homes and our children are being exposed to it.
Can you go back just for a second? Because the chemicals that are put in here, and I know that there's a lot of chemicals, but we're focusing on the ones that are put in the foams and things like that that our children are exposed to. What exactly does it do to them that's harmful?
So these chemicals interrupt your hormones. So the hormones give messages to your body. So it can give the wrong messages. And so that means that it can cause cancer later in life. A baby who's exposed to it now, their reproductive organs might not develop the right way, so then they're going to have trouble giving birth later in life, or obesity, or early puberty, or all kinds of different health impacts. But from this,
if I get something, as typically families do, you get a crib set you're not using anymore, what do? You re-gift it to somebody in the family. Does this stuff, for lack of a better word, gas off eventually? Does the chemicals eventually wear away, go away with it?
No, because there's so much of it in here. So it will come out a little bit at a time, and these chemicals last so long that we're finding it in polar bears in the Arctic. Now, obviously, there's not nap mats in that the polar bear babies don't sleep on nap mats, but we're finding it in their bodies because these chemicals get out into the dust in our homes, eventually out into the environment, and they last for almost forever. So we're all circulating these chemicals all around the globe now.
So if we now know the problem exists, we know it's there, what can we do about it? I know as a watchdog group, you guys are doing things, right?
So there's two things that I can think of that people can do. One, as parents and purchasers, they can look for products that are advertised as without these chemical flame retardants in them. And so there's one company, Nature-Pedic, that we know only makes them without these chemicals. So they can buy it from that company, or they can just look for companies that are advertising it. And then the second thing is, now that California no longer has this obscure regulation requiring it, now we and others are trying to get the state of California to do the opposite and to require a label on furniture and other things that says whether it has chemical flame retardants in it. So when you're buying it, you can look for it and on it. And so that's what you can do as a parent. But then in the big picture, what you can do is you can have an impact in the world by working with the Center for Environmental Health. You can contact us and we'll help you get involved to get this law passed so that everyone can know which products have these toxic chemicals and which ones don't.
So what do you want people to know as they leave? You know, they're watching this and they're saying, I had no idea I was doing this. I mean, I just went out and bought this. This should be safe. Or the pajama situation, you know, because I thought about that. I get the real tight ones for my kids. Or what do you want people to know? And by the way, is it same with pajamas as with this?
Yes.
Really?
So if you go to the store, you'll see two kinds of pajamas for small kids. One that are skin tight and clingy, and those will not have the chemical flame retardants. And the other kind that are loose and can come off, those will have a tag on it saying contains these chemicals in them. So you don't want to buy those loose, baggy pajamas for small kids.
Because the idea behind that is if it's loose, it can catch fire if it's tight. Okay.
Exactly. So that's one thing parents can do, and they can walk away with knowing, okay, I want to buy the pajamas that don't have that. Another thing is they can look for labels of products that don't have these chemicals in them, whether it's a couch or a children's product. And then the third thing they can do is they can go to our website and find out how they can get more actively involved to help solve this problem.
Which you guys just today, in fact, you have your website, which is ceh.org for updates, but tell us what you just did today.
So today, in preparation for this show, we created a page on our website with a list of the baby products that are already chemical-free. And so that is www.ceh.org/products without flame retardants. So people will be able to go there and know, oh, I want to buy from this company and I don't want to buy from that company.
Well, I hope a lot of those who are providing these things start making the shift, because as concerned parents, and I think we have a lot of viewers out there who are, they want to make wise decisions in giving their kids the best start in life as possible. Again, our Facebook page is a great place you can go to get a lot of these updates, or go to ceh.org for the updates that are there as well. Thank you so much for being here. Good stuff. I know we're going to have you back because we're going to talk about some other things out there that we need to share with our audience. But for now, we're going to throw it to Sophie.